What is going on, Knicks fans? Welcome back to Knicks Media. And in this video, we're talking about Game 2 of the Knicks preseason. We saw the New York Knicks blow out the Washington Wizards at the Garden for the first time with Karl-Anthony Towns and Bridges. Cat finished with 25 points and 12 rebounds at a double-double, a plus-minus of 24. Jalen Brunson, 23 points, 7 of 10 efficient shooting on plus 26. Bridges, a phenomenal game from him, 16 points, 5 rebounds, 3 steals, a plus-minus of a plus 21. OG Anunoby, he had 5 points, but he also had a plus-minus of plus 22, and you felt his defensive presence with 2 steals. I mean, the starting 5 got a lot of minutes last night, right? A lot of minutes. Bridges played 30 minutes. Towns played 28 minutes. So we got a really good idea of what this Knicks team looks like, and I got a lot of fun things to say. Outside of that, we got some bench stuff to talk about. Tyler Kolek with 15 points off the bench, looking phenomenal. Cameron Payne with 14 points off the bench. Deuce McBride did not play in this one, so we got more opportunities for Kolek and other guys off the bench. Ariel Hukporti looked really good as a rookie, coming in off the bench. Landry Shamet. I mean, I'm excited to get into this one, man. Precious Achiuwa. Woo! The Knicks is back, and I'm excited to share my biggest takeaway. Shout out to BetUS Sportsbook for being the proud sportsbook sponsor of Knicks Media all season long, folks. Don't forget to use the promo code YouTube150 to get your 150% bonus on your first deposit and then 125% on your next 2, all the way up to $2,000. Please bet responsibly. They got awesome Knicks future bets over there on BetUS Sportsbook, so definitely go check it out. Big way to support me here at Knicks Media is also by supporting the sponsors. Shout out to BetUS for powering Knicks Media. Now, you see the highlights on your screen, courtesy of our boy IQ for 3 on X, Teg. Now, we had defensive highlights right now. We got Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby. They're calling him wing stop because we got the dynamic duo of wing defenders, and they were out there just absolutely suffocating the Washington Wizards. And I know it's just a preseason, but I think that this is something that Knicks fans can really get used to. We also have Karl-Anthony Towns highlights, of course. Now, Cat wasn't really efficient, 7 of 20 from the field, 1 of 7 from three-point land, but he did go to the free throw line 11 times and hit 10 of the 11 free throws. I mean, how awesome is it to have a big man that can actually hit the free throws, right? The pick and roll game between Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns, it's just getting started. I mean, the amount of times I've seen Jalen Brunson just orchestrate the pick and roll with Cat and working to perfection. And not only that, I feel like we haven't really seen the pick and pop game yet, which is going to be really fun to see, right? We've seen the Karl-Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson pick and roll game, but just wait till, Cat just pops out for a three-point shot and Brunson hits him, and he hits that three-pointer. Jalen Brunson's looking like an MVP. He looks calm, cool, collected, sizing people up with a little shimmy, getting into the lane, sizing people up, hitting the three-point land, getting to the free throw line. Jalen Brunson is poised for, I think, an MVP-level season. Bridges looks so comfortable as a New York Knick in 30 minutes, 16 points, an efficient 5 rebounds, and 6 and 11 from the field. OG Anunoby's looking good. I mean, he was 2 of 9 from the field, but hey, man, this is something that Knicks fans can get used to. The fluidity of this offense is something that I'm really taking away from this game the most. They play fast. They play with a lot of energy. They're forcing turnovers. They're capitalizing in transition. They're playing free. You got a lot of off-ball movement. You got on-ball movement. You got off-ball screens. I mean, you can just tell that this Knicks team, man, it's going to be fun. And the new-look Knicks is really off the bench as well because Tyler Kolek may be something special here, folks. I mean, I know we're 2 games in. We saw him in the Summer League. And I don't know if he's going to crack the rotation because Tibbs is stubborn with his rookies. But in Deuce not playing, he got 17 minutes off the bench, 15 points, 5 assists, 2 steals, 6 of 10 from the field. I mean, Tyler Kolek looks so good, man. His playmaking off the bench is probably the most impressive to me. His confidence, his ability to not be shy, to let it fly from downtown, get to his spots in mid-range, and that pick and roll game with Ariel Hukporti, his ability to set up shots for his teammates, his ability to play make for himself, very impressive stuff. Cameron Payne also, I think Knicks fans are going to realize that he may have a big role off the bench this season. I mean, he is a scorer off the bench, something that the Knicks are looking for to replace Dante DiVincenzo. 14 points from Cameron Payne. He hit a bunch of three-pointers, 4 for 6 from downtown from Cameron Payne. I mean, that right there can replace Dante DiVincenzo if him and Landry Shamet can be the sharpshooters. Now, Cameron Payne, he is a scorer at heart, so I think that, having Tyler Kolek being that primary ball handler, the playmaker off the bench, and then having Deuce McBride, Cameron Payne, and Landry Shamet being the scorers at the guard spot, and then, rotating Precious Achiuwa, Jericho Sims, Ariel Hukporti. Obviously, all the names I just mentioned are not all going to play in the 9 to 10-man rotation that Thibodeau is going to run, but I think this Knicks team may be a lot more deeper than some people are giving them credit. I believe in this coaching staff to get the most out of these players, and I feel like what we're seeing right now is just defensive wizardry from Bridges and Anunoby on the starting five. We're seeing offensive masterclasses from Karl-Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson. Josh Hart is just the glue that glues everything together. He does all the scrappy work. We're not going to ask Josh Hart to put up 15 to 20 points a game. Go get the rebounds, push the ball, play hard defense, and let's go win some basketball games, man. I mean, it was a fun time to watch that Knicks game last night. I mean, if you're a baseball fan, I know that most people were watching the Mets playoffs and the Yankees playoffs last night, but of course I had the Knicks preseason game on while I was watching my New York Mets clinch going into the NLCS. Congrats on the Yankees win last night, of course, the Yankees fans. But I feel like, having the Knicks get a little taste of what the starting five looks like last night, because we did not get as many minutes from the starting five in their first preseason game on Sunday, and now we got a really good sample size. And Karl-Anthony Towns, you can tell that, he was getting a little frustrated early on, just letting it fly from three, not hitting his shots, but he finally hit a three-pointer. He had 2 blocks as well, Karl-Anthony Towns. Good to see him making an impact on the defensive end. Also had a steal. But you can just feel like we have a legit dynamic duo of Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns from an offensive perspective. Like, I don't know how teams are going to defend those two guys. I genuinely don't, especially when you have Bridges who can go get a bucket whenever he wants in ISO. That's the cool thing about this is, like, if you focus in on Bridges and Anunoby from the three-point land, right, because those two guys can spot up from three-point, hit the catch and shoot. They can also put the ball on the floor, attack the rim. But then you got to worry about Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns. Like, this offense, and I don't want to make it sound like I'm just being biased here, but this offense has an opportunity to be one of the best offenses in the entire NBA, the way that it's constructed on this roster. So let me know your thoughts, Knicks fans, your biggest takeaways from the Knicks preseason game number 2. The Knicks are 2-0 in the preseason as we inch closer and closer to real Knicks basketball. We got a few weeks until the opener. Let me know your thoughts of the Tom Thibodeau playing a lot of his starters, like 30 minutes from Bridges, 28 minutes from Towns. Are you guys upset with that? But hey, Tibbs, we got a new team. He wants them to get into chemistry, get them into basketball shape before things really count. So let me know your thoughts, guys. Another shout out to BetUS for powering Knicks media. I love you all. Knicks basketball is right around the corner, and I'll see you in the next video. Let's go, Knicks. Peace out, folks.